Rejestrując się w platformie gamerhash.co, twój komputer będzie dla ciebie zarabiał. Zarobione środki wymienisz w sklepie internetowym. Zacznij już dziś zarabiać na mocy obliczeniowej swojego komputera.
Siemanczko, z tej strony Mitrox i zapraszam was serdecznie na kolejny odcinek na moim kanale. W dzisiejszym odcinku widzimy się w Never Alone, czyli w dość ciekawej grze, ze względu na to, że będziemy mieli tutaj pokazaną historię jakiegoś plemienia. Nie jestem pewnego jakiego, a o tym na pewno się przekonamy w czasie gry. Gra jest do ogrania według mnie w 3 odcinki. Z moim podejściem, co nie zawsze dobrze wychodzi, odgadnięcie wszystkich zagadek z 4-5, jak mi się wydaje. Gra powinna trwać coś około 2 godzin wraz z takimi jakby filmikami przedstawiającymi historię jakiegoś plemienia bądź rodziny. W samej grze jesteśmy małą dziewczynką wraz z lisem, która musi uciec, a w zasadzie chyba przeżyć, dlatego że jej wioska przeżywa głód albo została tam zaatakowana przez kogoś. Jest to gra bardzo krótka, wziąłem ją ze względu na to, aby móc się odprężyć, przejść wreszcie jakąś grę w szybkim tempie, więc naciskamy spację i kontynuujemy. Modyfikacja stanie grafiki w celu poprawienia wydajności. Potwierdź. Odtwórz Foxtails, to będzie chyba te nagrania i nie ma ustawień nawet. A jednak są. Świadectwa kultury, co to jest? To są te filmiki, dobra.
One of the things I think a lot of people need to understand is we aren't a museum piece. The Inupiaq people are a living people and a living culture. Even though we're in northern Alaska, which covers this vast area from Nome all the way over the Canadian border, is that there is this extreme value of interconnectedness and interdependence.
It's a hunting society, a gathering society from thousands of years.
This is what creates our culture.
That special relationship between humans and the natural world and the animals, and that it teaches you how to have a society that doesn't do too much harm to the world.
Love and respect for nature, for one another, for our elders. Very, very fundamental value, key to life.
Our values are something that bind us all. The importance of sharing with one another, the importance of spirituality, and the connection to the land, our traditions, how we hunt, sharing of stories and songs and dances.
I'm Inupiaq. I'm from the Arctic Ocean.
I am Inupiaq.
It's very important to me. It's who I am as a person.
And we're very proud of who we are, and we want to continue that.
It'd be busy, busy, busy all through the day. You get up and you just go right to work, you know, right to work.
There was always something to do. There was never any idle time. The only idle time we had was after we eat and before we go to bed.
One of the older people would be relaxing, laying down there and saying, you know, it'd be really nice to hear a story. And then just organically, someone would just start telling a story.
Storytelling for the Inupiaq people is very important because it not only created that sense of community, but is a way to pass on wisdom to the next generation.
It was like TV, you know? It was just like, it was as good as any movie you've ever seen. And the storyteller told it so clearly that it was just as powerful as any of the greatest movie blockbusters you've ever seen.
There was a reason behind the stories that we were told because they held traditional knowledge. They held things that we might need to know in life, whether it was about how to find food or how to survive, or it was about well-being and the importance of connecting with people and being a good member of the community.
We all do stories. We all live in stories. We all tell stories to our friends, and they need to be told. They need to be heard.
Resztę z tego serwisu będziemy dopiero odblokowywać, więc warto zapamiętać, że opowieść, jak i żywa kultura już była odsłuchana. Spacja, graj, nowa gra. Świadectwa kultury. Dobra. Czyli te filmiki na to wychodzi.
Unipkaaqutiarsiikpin taalaranilaraannasuk unipkaaqtuaq qaawiuraqama niviaqsiaqarualuguuq iñuuniaqanersuq angajuqaagamani sumitaimma niviaqsiaqarualuqamuniallatuneqsaq aasiisulaqallavluni supayaanik Iñuuniaqutик anuqqautigaiti anuqulingaallaaqsuq anuqulingaallaaqpaalluni kisaimma panernialeaqsivut niviaqsiaqalualuk kisaimma isummeqpoq tapuraasi kangitsaquaqsigaasumman anuqlisugurugumagaan summan anuqulingaallaaqamagaan tapuraasi kangitsaquaqsigaasumman anuqlisugurugumagaan
So scrimshaw is this really beautiful method of art that's done either on baleen or ivory, and traditionally it was used to tell stories.
Each etching is telling a story of some event. Caribou hunting was taking place. This is what was going on. War began around this time, and so it sort of gives you a timeline of history through etching.
An elder or the person who carved it would literally be able to read the scrimshaw story.
They're like reading a book, in a way.
A lot of the storytelling traditions would be things that after the storytelling was done, we'd just rely on the next person telling it. And so scrimshaw is a very important way for Alaskan Native people to record their history.
anuqulliqpaalluni suniuraqanaitsoqunni tavlani viaqsiaqarualuk ayuungitsoq payyagniuliqsoq
Chyba tak to trzeba było zrobić.
Tokotawayaktok kisimriumi. Arraannapqangapiaktok.
Fajne to było. Na razie takie nie za ciężkie. To intuicja. W sensie, no nic nowego. O co wychodzi?
When I was growing up, my grandpa had a pet white fox. If you're a good friend with a fox, when there's danger abound, they try to keep you from getting into trouble. They pull tricks here and there, and foxes are like spoiled little kids in a way. When you let her out, she'd go prancing out in the snow, jumping in the air. I know she was happy then. Come running at me and jump on my chest, knock me backwards, lick my face, and I try not to let it. So that was my memory of my grandpa's pet fox.
Caribou was, it provided for us in many ways.
Our clothing in those days was made of all caribou skin.
I grew up wearing caribou pants, mittens, caribou skin mattress, blankets.
Some people had boots that were made with wolf leggings, sealskin sole bottoms. Baleen was shaved to make insoles. They kept us quite dry and warm as well. But the caribou skin clothing was the best. We would get as many yearlings as we could for our outer clothing. And for a heavy winter, we would get caribou in February or March because the hair was the longest and the skin was the thickest, and we would use those for our winter gear. With that stuff on, you could sleep outside in 50 below and it wouldn't bother you a bit.
Niveaksiagaroluk kangersingarok. Supayat ikayok tekane bilwich. Allawlun itam naterigan niak. Sibun.
Trochę za szybko.
Niveaksiagaroluk kangersingarok. Supayat ikayok tekane bilwich. Allawlun itam naterigan niak. niviaqsiaqarualup kangeqsingaroq supayaat ikajorteqaranipilugut allauvluni taamna teriqanniaq sivuneqsipkangagaa niviaqsiaqarualup qanutut peqpaganaqtilaangat tamatkua ikajortauruat niviaqsiaqarualup kangeqsingaroq supayaat ikajorteqaranipilugut allauvluni taamna teriqanniaq sivuneqsipkangagaa niviaqsiaqarualup qanutut peqpaganaqtilaangat tamatkua ikajortauruat
Kurczę, fajny mechanizm. Tylko szkoda, że to tylko na liście działa. Trzeba tak się przełączać.
Sila is the weather. It also means the atmosphere. Here's the nuna, or the land. And it's anything from the land into the moon, the sun, the stars. That's Sila.
It's a very spiritual, and we have a relationship with Sila. Sila has a soul in the same way we do as people, in the same way animals do.
I think spirit helpers in and of themselves are really about how we're connected with things. And so it may be that there is a spirit helper that shows themselves as a bird to show you the way home, or it may be a spirit helper that actually decides to show themselves with the face and body of a man instead of their animal form. And so I think one of the things that's hard to understand is that it's not one way of seeing things, it's one way of knowing you're connected to everything.
We've always had that spirituality of everything around us.
It's the interaction you have with the air you breathe, the ocean that you gather resources from, the rivers from which you gather fish, the tundra from which you pick berries, the animals that give themselves. It's all of that.
Jak ja kurczę? O, pięknie.
niviaqsiaqarualugulo teriqanniaqalu ikayuuti piaqtuk siqaqaniurutimigani araa kangeqsinaitsoqunni qanoq pisilaangak aqlaan tavra atautsikun aingaruk
In the winter, when we were traveling, we didn't build sod houses, we built snow houses. In Canada, they call them igloo, but here in Alaska, we call them apuya. We'd do a day of travel, and then we'd make a apuya. The next day, my father would set traps, spend the day there, rest the dogs, give them something to eat, and then the following day, we continued to the next place. We'd go to my dad's sister, who had a house at Dubarg. They had a small sod house over there. We didn't have to do anything. We just visit with them, and my dad and my sister were glad to see each other, and they'd talk away while us kids played outside or go to sleep. By the time we get back to our home, my father would leave us with our aunt or with my grandmother, and then he'd start on his trips and go check his trap line. We were not into 8 to 5 kind of time, you know. We're in a total different kind. We're in ecological time.
Cholera. Chociaż... Aktywować aktywowałem. Właśnie. No i świetnie. Że na początku, że na tego dużego ducha trzeba tak wskoczyć. Na szczęście się myliłem. Kurczę, znowu nie to. No i świetnie. No i znowu nie ma tego filmiku Intuicja. No nie.
Iverksiarollu tikitka aimarvini. Agalaan maluunaqsingamra. Injoqulu tikinngamaroq iverksiarollu piingaan. Ivahalaqsimaroq sumittaimma. Nikatjakkumanyainniqsuq. Pakit qaangaarnagu ivaqtani. Nunaaqqiq isiuaqtuaqaniqsuq. Inyungi toquttaqtaawaniqsit. Niveaqsiarullu uppiringitka tautuktani. Tautugunaqtuaq sunapayaaq исеқуминганиксоқ нивиақсиаралуалуум июлиақатинги писауллаганексут қанақуимня адохолакпалхиня таиннаруминяитла тамаанга икумауартуамик қахраақпаам иньуа ниптартоқ исумаалагулларами нивиақсиаралуулуум пиитсинингани
Czy ja coś tutaj źle zrobiłem? No jeszcze raz, no bo tutaj mi nie pasuje to, że nie wskoczyłem. Punkt kontrolny niech będzie. No tutaj nie wiem jakby tutaj wskoczyć. Na 6 punktów kontroli mamy praktycznie co chwila na to wychodzi. No mniej więcej. O, no i teraz weszło. Świetnie. To też jako dziewczynka tak trzeba zrobić? No to chyba trzeba być bliżej kapka. No wszystko by wskazywało na to, że niby tak. Tylko, że nie w tym kierunku. Dokładnie. Przecież jakieś te deski trzeba na dole rozwalić. Przecież łomu nie mamy, ani niczego. To już się sprawa komplikuje, co? Ale nie do końca. Elegancko.
Kaikuen tutiin uqallaktoq iñugungaluaq uppik qanaquma ilisimaneqpaqa isumullaktoq niviaqsiagalualuq qanuqqiitapura qaunugingagikpen qillautika piigupku ikajoruniaqalluarikpen kimun tainnanunaaqeq sabaqitilaanga
Drum is something that's common to all cultures in Alaska. All cultures have a drum that may have some stylistic differences or differences in the materials that it's made, but it's still in recognition of life and vitality. And the drum mirrors the heartbeat. And when you continue drumming, soon it will be in line with your heartbeat. Because that's what it's supposed to be, the heartbeat of the community, and it symbolizes vitality. And it's the most tremendous feeling to be in a room and to have one long row of all the drummers and to have that feeling of unity, everyone beating in harmony, the drum beat in unison. It's the most beautiful feeling. And to know that you're connected, you're on the land that you are connected to. And even if you grew up outside of the community, that which is in you comes from this area. And it's the greatest feeling.
and I went at it and look what happens. Oh.
Aha. To niech będzie, że zrobimy coś takiego. A co, nie dało się tam wskoczyć normalnie? Jak tak nas wiatr podwiał? Wydaje mi się, że chyba nie, skoro mamy tutaj taki poziom aż. Tylko że tutaj nic nie widać.
Khilararak tuat iberxerolo butqaqke. Asi anipgiti suna ittuktusugulumagaan.
Aha. No to było kompletnie losowe. Czy to nie... przed chwilą inaczej to leciało. Co jest? Musi polecieć ta kulka tutaj, żeby była przeciwwaga i moglibyśmy się wspiąć do góry. No właśnie.
Iberxerolo savattuqumi ahlagut immanyarat paqitka uppiu qilautinga.
Czy co teraz? Powrót? Czy jak to wygląda? Za ciemno tam trochę. No miało być shift. Aha. No chodź tam, lisku, no. Masz jeszcze kapkę, można to... O, nie zbyt. Aha. To jest tak ciemno, że ja kompletnie nic nie widziałem. Mam nadzieję, że więcej takich poziomów nie będzie, no bo tragedia to jest tutaj.
Iberxerolo utingaroq qilautiligaaquni. Uppikqupiatjapalugaroq. Asiitamura piviittaqiliutipiallagaga iberxeroluk. Taannaquni aitsuutiqilaqangaroq. ukpit uqallaktoq uvvauna qaunariingagiga iliginun pisitquvlugu.
No dobrze, wydaje mi się, że raczej tą część gry mam już zaliczoną. Powiem, że na razie gra naprawdę bardzo mi się podoba, chociaż mam lekko jakieś tam uwagi. Głównie chodzi o ten, kurczę, podziemny poziom. Tam było tak strasznie ciemno, że aż dziwne. Na razie według mnie klimat budują te wszystkie filmiki, te świadectwa kultury. Te są bardzo fajne. Zobaczymy, jak dalej będzie się w ogóle toczyła historia Nuny, jak i tego liska. Następnego odcinka. Siemka.